Hello again, and today I am going to be delving back into the Groyper Wars, but before we get started, please like, please comment, please share the video, and please subscribe to the channel. My metrics, my engagement is super up by one comment per video, but I'm really proud of that, and I hope to keep up the intensity and the energy. And I would like to apologize for not getting this video out to you yesterday. I just had a lot of stuff going on. I came back from a weekend trip and I needed to take care of a whole bunch of errands, and that prevented me from recording today's video. However, later in the day, I'm going to be recording multiple videos for the week, so I can just kind of edit them today and then bounce them for a later date. So let's get started on the Groyper War. And we have to start with the Charlie Kirk events, because Charlie Kirk has been the main focus of the Groyper War, because he was at the forefront of the University of Colorado State event, in which K. Alexander Adams and Patrick Bateman, Groyper, fucking asked those questions and then started this whole thing. And as this past week, we now see the end of the Turning Point events until Student Action Summit and a couple others in the next year. I wonder if he's even going to be doing any more college tours. I think college tours and Charlie Kirk are two things that no longer go together. And now he wants to be in more of the private background kind of space where he's surrounded by his people and they can screen and do whatever underhanded tactics they got cooked up. But this past week, Charlie Kirk was humiliated at at University of Florida. There were so many Groypers. It was just like Ohio State, where it was predominantly Groypers in the questions. And, he had a Rant Nation guy, Graham Allen, on. And Graham Allen was obviously just sidelined for the fucking Groyper War. And that guy probably should have got some shit thrown at him, especially because he said shit like, my God doesn't tell me how I hate gays, even though there are so many passages in the Bible that say that, Christians are supposed to hate the gays because they're going against Christ by being degenerates. So that was the U of F event. The UNC event, however, was kind of a bummer, and we're gonna sideline a little bit to reorganize, re-strategize, and learn from what went wrong there. So it was a stalemate. It was not a total victory, and it's because I think there were a lot of people there who were not prepared and thought it was very easy because everyone else made it look very easy. But you do have to prep for these things. This is like studying for a test. All kinds of crazy shit can happen. You can get Murphy's Lawed by these events. You can get the stage fright. You can, flub your question while you ask it. These things happen, and it's okay. And we weren't going to have a perfect record, but the fact that this wasn't a loss is still pretty good. It's just, these are some of the points that I would like to refer to. Is number one, don't fall for the trap questions. The Turning Point people, the Daily Wire people, Conservative Inc. on the whole want to frame you as the bad guy so that they can continue to be the quote-unquote good guys for conservatism. And if you allow them to do that by falling for their trap questions, they now have a pre-planned kind of story branch to then paint you as the villain. And so that's why you do not fall for the trap questions. You do not answer them when they ask a question. You just kind of boo and make fun of them, because that's what's supposed to be happening. They're supposed to be utterly routed and ass blasted. The second point that is specific to this problem in the stalemate is to know the question that you're asking, especially if it's for someone else. There are a lot of the kind of figureheads like Vincent James and Steve Franson and Patrick Casey, Jake Lloyd, Jaden McNeil, Nick Fuentes. All these kind of guys are putting questions out there for other people to ask, because obviously they're not at the events that they really want to be at. And so they put forward these questions that they want to be said. They think it's important. But if you're going to ask a question for someone else, you got to do the homework. You got to do the research. Or otherwise, you're going to end up like that one kid at UNC who Charlie Kirk ended up being like, so do you know what you're actually asking? And it's like, and that is right there a moment to where Charlie Kirk can flip the table on you. or any of these guys can flip the table on you, the question asker. And my other point is just to refer to the previous tips. Everyone's been very good at following along the optic strategy and the ability to put forward these ideas and these questions. It's just you really gotta know that this isn't easy. This is stuff that you have to work towards, and you cannot just kind of go up there and then get the Twitter clout and get the clip for yourself to frame forever in your hard drive. And so we go back towards the other events. The final Turning Point USA event was so low rent, and these events were already not being live streamed on the Turning Point channel. But this one was a Prove Me Wrong event, much like the Dan Crenshaw Prove Me Wrong events of the week before, in which Charlie Kirk just sat at a table and got questions from all these groypers in Houston who were, some of them, including the boy, New World Patriots, was actually at this event as well. He was the final question asker after after so many groypers just came in and fucking ousted Charlie Kirk as a grifter, as a liar, as a fake conservative. And they were just shouting him down as he tried to frame Nick Fuentes with the old clips of the Nick Fuentes show. And with the final question asked by New World Patriots, by Philip Anderson, Charlie Kirk ended up getting out and leaving to just rallying cries of America first. And New World Patriots, Philip Anderson, that guy just chased Charlie Kirk into his car. And, of course, that's how you end one of these fucking events, baby. That is how you bring it to them. They're scared, and Turning Point is going to be spending months on the re-strategy. So let's move into the more YAF-friendly events with the one Ben Shapiro event, I believe was at Boston University. He, again, just did a kind of lame appeal to leftists, being like, I'm not that much of a racist, I'm not that Nazi. And it was cringe, but the beauty, the amazing thing is we had another repeat groyper, Mr. Teddy Spaghetti Groyper. The guy who refers to Nick Fuentes as Nick Fuentes asked a question about if Ben Shapiro would debate Nick Fuentes, and Ben obviously just was thrown into a tizzy. The second person after Teddy Spaghetti Groyper was a Jewish kid who's like, Nick Fuentes went to UTR, and oh my god. Ben Shapiro looks ass mad every time fucking someone brings up Nick Fuentes, and it's gold. Especially because this question got reiterated by a Jewish groyper, a guy wearing a yarmulke and looking presentable. And it was just like, oh wow, yeah, you are losing your people, Ben. You are losing your people, and it's glorious and it's great. There is another kind of small loss as well. We did not get footage from the Dinesh D'Souza event. No one was really there to cover that. I think that's a big loss. I think Dinesh D'Souza is one of the cultural neocon figures that needs to be questioned at every turn, because all he's got is Democrats are the real racists. Democrats are the real Nazis. Democrats are the fascists. And it's like, bro, you are fucking boomer tier cringe. And that guy's smile just creeps me out. And according to Steve Franson, apparently he was one of the people that got Sam Francis blacklisted. So yeah, again, gotta hammer that guy. Gotta find him at his next event. Record the video. Put it online. Put Dinesh D'Souza on blast for being a fucking cultural neocon. And we don't want these people. And someone like me is a little disappointed that we have to cover him. But Dave Rubin has thrown in his hat with Turning Point USA. I do not know why. I think it's very stupid. I think anybody who was not previously affiliated with Turning Point USA just all of a sudden being like, these guys are great, like Donald Trump Jr., like Dave Rubin, it's really disappointing to watch. And Dave Rubin's event was also not videoed. It was not recorded. But someone on Revenge of the Sith in the chat told Royce and Mersch that someone asked a question about if Dave Rubin would debate Nick Fuentes, and Dave Rubin responded with, Nick Fuentes is really mean, so not really. I'm not in the business of debating people who are mean to me. It's just like, bro, like, this is why fucking Sam Cedar and the loser rejects of the progressive movement, like Kyle Kalinske and David Pakman, come after you. It's because you do that gay shit. Just debate these losers. You can beat them, Dave. You're better than this. Like, don't be a retard. I don't think you'd win against Nick. I think Nick would fucking, just maneuver around you and get right through to you and be like, maybe Turning Point are the real bad guys. And yeah, you'd have another big red pill moment that I have to go on Joe Rogan and talk about. But these were the events of last week, and we got some Daily Wire people coming up. Michael Knowles is entering the arena. Andrew Klavan is entering the arena, I believe, at the tail end of the week. Ben Shapiro returns. Matt Walsh returns. Some broad is in there. And I think these are the last set of events before Student Action Summit and, CPAC next year. And we really got to hammer Daily Wire. And we got to hammer Daily Wire simply because they are the biggest conservative website on the internet, and this is due to Ben Shapiro getting all this funding, Ben Shapiro being like the new Milo Yiannopoulos level campus conservative warrior. And we got to route the Daily Wire specifically because they are currently the moral framework for, intellectual discussion on the right. And of course they're very pro-Zion, they're very neocon based, and these are the things that we do not want going forward. Even as someone like me, who's more of a paleo-libertarian, I do not want neoconservatism to be in the conversation going into the next 3 decades, okay? I want it to be dead in the water, like it should have been once 2016 came in, once Trump steamrolled all of his neoconservative opponents. And this is the fight that we are now in, is to stop neoconservatism. Now that Turning Point has been routed for the moment, we will come back to them when they want to come out of the woodwork with their new tactics. And just for the Clippers, I have one real big tip for you, because everyone's been doing good about holding their phone in landscape mode for the streams. But I believe, as an editor, to me it is more important to get the whole stream and then do the clipping than it is to do the clipping as you're streaming, because you guys are getting a little sloppy because you don't know when the question starts or where it ends. So I would also pay attention to the time code, which is an editing trick for you put it into the actual film and you see the time, and this is how you gauge where what starts and what stops. And this is stuff that I don't think you can do with the current stream recording technology that's out there. However, when you put it into an editing software, you can see the time code very easily. It's hour, minute, second, millisecond, and you can find exactly where you need to cut. So that way your clips are better looking because they start and end appropriately. And with all that being said, the Groyper War, for right now, for the year, I believe, is coming to a bit of a close. Like I said, we do have Student Action Summit, and then immediately next year we'll be in CPAC mode and fucking election season. And we have to hammer neoconservatism out of the movement. We need to get them out of the right wing. They can go be like Rick Wilson and fucking Bill Kristol and Max Boot and all these quote-unquote neoconservative thinkers from the previous decade who have now flipped to the Democratic Party because they see Trump as the devil. And neoconservatives should be seen as the devil for any movement, be it, left or right, because neoconservatism is an ideology that has no staying power, has no ability to hold water for the next couple of years, because it is so antiquated and it is so false. And you can, again, listen to my older commentary on neoconservatism, why it's totally shit, to fully grasp the evils of neoconservatism. And with that being said, to Turning Point USA, we say goodbye, because you guys are done, okay? This is going to have a very long-lasting impact on your brand. You might as well begin the backdoor channel to rebrand, because it's over, okay, Charlie Kirk? It's fucking over. Every time we see you, we will point out how you are a grifter, how you are a member of the merchant right, how you are just a neoconservative in disguise as a Trump supporter, and you can call us racist, sexist, whatever the left calls us. It's not going to fucking work anymore. And Ben Shapiro, you're next, okay, big guy? You're next. Because we also know that you're not a Trump supporter. You are not an America First conservative. You are a neocon. You are an Israel firster. You are a Zionist. And we don't want these people in the movement anymore. These people have systematically helped to destroy America and its foundations, all in the name of promoting their ideology, which is a vacuous ideology, which of course has its roots in globalism. And we do not want the globalists anywhere near conservatism. Look at how they've destroyed the left with open borders, with diversity, with all this dumb shit. So we don't want you people anymore. And so I say to Turning Point and to YAF, tread lightly, because we're only keeping up the pressure on you guys. And as always, the fire rises.